So you've been watching me on TV for a while, and now you want to start turning. This is where it all begins, in a garage. It's a lot less money than a larger lathe, but it still does a lot of great projects. Most lathes come with a pulley system, and in this one I have 2 pulleys. Whoa, talk about intimidating. Even for an experienced wood turner, you can get lost on this aisle. You can get free wood by going to a tree service. You can use that wood to make bowls and other things. Now before you start turning, make sure you sharpen your tools. And why do you sneak up on a bead? Because you can't make this in one cut. So, does this look familiar? This is where we shoot our show. Now, my lathe is front and center. All I do in this shop is turn, so that's important to me. My tools are within reach. I have cabinets for storage right here. If you come over to here, this is my sharpening station, which is very close to the lathe. It makes it nice and easy to come over here. It also, if you notice, has good lighting, so that way I can see what I'm doing. For a beginning turner, if you're not quite sure if this is your thing, I'd recommend going with a mini lathe. It's a lot less money than a larger lathe, but it still does a lot of great projects like pins, cups, little bowls, candlesticks. You can make about anything on here. You're only limited by the size of it. But one thing to keep in mind too is, as you go along, you're going to want to do bigger and bigger projects, possibly. So you move into maybe a midi lathe. And this lathe is a very nice stout lathe that has a good swing and distance between centers, and I'm going to get into all that, explain to you. There are literally hundreds of choices, dozens of manufacturers. One thing that holds true though, make sure you get high-speed steel. That steel will hold an edge for a long time, and it makes your turning a lot more enjoyable. Now, there are 6 tools I recommend for a beginning turner. You're going to want to do spindle and bowl turning. To start off with the spindle turning, I recommend a roughing gouge. This one's 1 1/4 inches. This is the first tool you're going to use when you're trying to make a blank round piece of wood round on your lathe. Now the next tool I recommend is a spindle gouge. This one is 3/8 of an inch, and it is the thing that makes the shapes. It makes the beads. It makes all the fancy stuff when you're turning something on the lathe. This piece of wood right here is a good example. This is cut. You can make a bowl out of it, right? But look what happened. It cracked. The wood is wet when it's brand new and green, so it's losing moisture like that, so it cracks. What you need to prevent the cracking is something called green wood sealer. And it looks a little bit like milk, but it's an emulsion. And what it does is it helps seal up the pores of the wood. The wood's kind of like a straw, and it starts leaking all that water. Well, that will keep it from cracking. It'll slow it down. The other thing though is you can't turn a bowl straight from that in the beginning. You've got to do what we call a rough turn. You have to turn the bowl to this shape, keep it kind of thick. Now what we have to do here in Oklahoma is put this bowl in here with a bunch of shavings, and that'll let the water slowly come out of the wood. So after about 3 or 4 months, you can turn this to a finished bowl. Just make sure you close the bag up really tight and store it in a cool, dry place.